Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I am Shanika and I'm so happy to have you here. On this channel I do videos to encourage Christians, new believers, people that are planning to become Christians. My hope is to encourage you to walk close to God and to be molded by His words. So for this video, I want to piggyback off my last video where I talk about how to live a stable life. And I mentioned in order to live a stable life, we have to surrender our life to God and allow Him to direct our path. So for this video, I think it would only be fitting for me to talk about how do we surrender to God. But before we do it, I'd encourage you guys to get yourself comfy, get yourself cozy, grab yourself a blanket, get yourself some tea, or just settle into where you are. We're going to have a very encouraging video. So how to surrender to God. So when I think about the word surrender, I quickly think about the meaning of surrender. Surrender means to relinquish control and allow another person to be in control. That is a very uncomfortable word for many people, especially in today's society where we're told that we're supposed to have full control, and many books are written every year about how to control your life. But we know as Christians, God calls us to surrender to Him and to allow Him to be in control. In Proverbs 3, verse 5 to 6, it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him and He will make your path straight." God has a plan for us when we trust in Him and allow Him to direct our path. As Christians, we need Him to guide our every step, and we need to trust in Him and have that faith so that we can have a life that is worth living, really. In James 4 verse 7, it says that we're to submit yourself then to God, resist the devil and he will flee from you. If we have any chance of resisting the devil and his temptation, we need to submit ourselves to God and surrender to Him. I know for many people, surrendering is something that is very hard, but once you have the trust and the faith in who God is, you will be able to do so. I know for me and my personal story, growing up in the church, I started going to church from I was like from probably like from where I was like 8 or 10. Like I really started to get into church. My mom was very persistent that every Saturday we go to church. Back then, I was not very happy. I didn't really care for church back then because I wasn't able to connect and I really didn't understand. As I got older, I started to understand a bit, and I learned that there was a heaven and there was a hell. And if you follow God, you'll go to heaven, but if you don't, you will go to hell. And that terrified me because I did not want to go to hell. So I was intrigued to see, what does it really take to go to heaven? And then I heard about all the rules that you have to follow, and I was immediately turned off because I'm like, those rules are pretty boring. So I'll follow those when I'm older, when I'm like old. So as life progressed and life continued, I get to my 20s where I really became more aware of the world and what I'm more aware of myself. And I found that I was very broken and the world around me was very broken as well. I felt very fearful and insecure, and I felt like I was looking for love in all the wrong places. And I remember coming to a point in my life where I just felt hopeless, and I was trying to turn to people to talk to, friends to talk to, and nothing really helped me. And I remember just feeling just completely helpless and even considering turning to therapy, which I never did because I couldn't afford it. But then I decided that let me turn to God. Let me see what this Bible is truly about. Let me be more intentional with my relationship with Him. So that's when I really started to turn to the Bible. And I started in the New Testament. And that's where I met Jesus Christ. And I met a person that was just so loving and so kind and forgiving. And he made me, and he filled me with so much hope. And he told me that, yes, this world is broken, but I don't need to be broken with the world. And finding Jesus Christ, I found so much hope in the world and in my future. And especially when he told me that I have a plan and I have a purpose for you, it made me feel so much more comforted and confident in Him. And I started to trust Him and develop faith in who He is. And I gave my life to God because I found out who He was. And October 2016, that was a very great day for me because that was when I got baptized and completely turned my life around and gave it to God. But in that moment, I really started to surrender. But I want to let you know that I wasn't able to like perfectly surrender to God. The closer I got to Him, the more I got to know Him, I started to develop that faith and trust. And that's when I was able to really surrender to Him. So to answer your question, how do you surrender to God? You do so by getting to know who God is and developing that trust and that faith in who He is and the plan that He has for your life, and knowing that the rules that He has in place is not to punish you or to make you scared, but it's to protect you and to make you whole and to make you have a life that is worth living. So yeah, it's so important that we surrender to God and to know that also that we don't have to be perfect because He is a God of grace and He will meet you where you are. And again, He only has plans, beautiful plans in store for you. So yes, I hope this video was encouraging for you, and I hope that you do develop that intentional relationship and build your faith and trust in Jesus Christ. Thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. Take care. Bye.